Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm Simone Malone, live out of Studio 236 of FMHDMS. What a delight to be able to come to you with another Gospel Artist Spotlight. It's Good Friday. It's Resurrection Sunday weekend, and we want to take this time not to wish you a happy Easter. We're going to say resurrection because many of us who are Christians are celebrating all over the world. But I am here to celebrate the life of this young lady who is making a difference in gospel music, who has a lot of things to share about her life, and that's why she is here for the Gospel Artist Spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls everywhere watching this live from Studio 236, I want to welcome the one and only ShondaSade.
Hi, how are you?
Did I get it right?
Yes.
What a
Right.
beautiful name,
Thank you.
ShondaSade. Let me hear you say that. Welcome to Studio FMHDMS Studio 236. What a delight to be
It's a
able to
pleasure.
spotlight you.
Thank you.
How you
so
feeling?
much. I'm feeling blessed.
Great.
I'm
Let's talk.
excited.
I know you are. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your life. I want people to understand who you are as an individual, where you were born and raised from. And so let's begin from you growing up as a young lady to your music. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what you're doing as a school teacher as well. So let's share your life. Go ahead. What do you want to say first?
Well, I am Rashonda Radcliffe, and my name is ShondaSade. It's a nickname. That's my rap name I go by, Christian rap artist.
Sure.
I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, North Philadelphia in particular.
Okay.
And I grew up, my grandmother raised me, my mother, my father. I guess we'll get into that. My mother and father was not really a part of my life. My mom lived with me, but at the same time, she had a chemical dependency. And so my grandmother took on that task of raising me and my brothers. I'm the only girl.
Only girl.
And only girl.
Are you spoiled? But go ahead. The only girl. Go ahead.
The only girl, and my brothers, they were, had it rough, not having a father in their life, and my grandmother doing all she could do to teach them how to grow up and teach them how to, be men. And they gave their life to the streets at a very early age, around, 15, 16.
Wow.
And so I had to be like 8, 9 and seeing all this going on in the home, and, they're not coming home at night. My mom sometimes didn't come home. And I decided I didn't want to be like that. You know, I decided that I wanted to make a difference and be better.
Right.
So at 9, I guess we're going to get into a lot of this. I started not going to church. I started going to my friend's house, and he went to a Baptist church.
Okay.
And he would invite me out. I wouldn't want to go because I was very hip. Like,
absolutely.
I was raised around a lot of boys, so I was very like, I knew what was going on in the streets, and I was very like into like hanging with them and rapping secular music.
Okay.
I did a lot of that, a lot of different things I did with that. My brother in particular, he rapped. He's my brother right after me. He's a little older than me. He rapped, so we would get in the studio and do things together.
Okay.
And my brother got killed. My oldest brother, he was 17 years old. That was like it for me.
Right.
It was like, okay, this is a wake-up call.
So that was a wake-up call, the death of your 17-year-old brother.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. When you growing up with a family with your brothers and they were in the streets, how did that really affect you mentally as a young lady at 9, 10 years old? I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Being raised by your grandmother, and certainly her prayers is what has kept you going. But how did that really affect you? Because you didn't end up in the streets and selling drugs and doing all those negative things that you were dealing with your brothers.
Right. So when it first started happening, I don't know if I was really affected. I didn't know how to feel. And I would just try to like, fit in with them.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was just happy to see them in the house the times they were in the house.
Certainly.
And when they were out, I would just spend my time, outside on the corners with them. Seeing them, deal drugs, seeing them, tell me to go to the side. They're about to handle some business. Knowing what's going on, but not really having a voice in the matter. And not having that spiritual leader in my life to teach me how to pray and teach me how, my grandmother, she was there, but she wasn't really that spiritual leader. She was just there, to help and to like, raise me. But not having that spiritual leader in my life to tell me, to pray for him. I was just succumbed by the environment and pretty much, hanging around them 24/7 in the studio with them while they're wrapping around weed and drugs and and that was just like what I was succumbing to. I thought that was life.
Certainly.
I thought that was life, even at a young age. I felt like life just happened at an early age, and I didn't really know how to handle it. So I didn't really have any emotions. And then as I got older, my brother passed. I was 9, so I was still going through that transition. But when I became like 14 and 15, and I started going to this church, and I guess we're going to get into that. God began to just shift in my life, and prayer became key. And, I didn't want to be a part of that environment anymore. I didn't want to be around it anymore. I knew it was something different about me. And I was like, this is not who I am. This is not who I want to be. And I began to, change. I no longer wanted to do secular rap. I had that taste. God just instantly just took it away from me.
Right.
And I didn't even plan on doing Christian rap, to be honest. My co-pastor, she was, I was sharing some poetry with her. And she was like, you should do Christian rap, because that was what was in me, rap.
Right.
And from there, she just threw me up in front of the congregation one day when I was like 14. And from there, it's just never been the same.
Wow.
It's just never been the same. And with that came a lot of tests, a lot of trials. And
so you're considered a Christian rap artist?
Yes.
And there's a big audience out there that loves Christian rap, and that's why we want you guys to support her. So you started getting involved in the church.
Yes.
Your life turned around at a young age because of all the experiences you were seeing and things like that. So how was God dealing with you as a young lady growing up in school doing Christian rap and things like that? Being different.
Being different, right. It was very challenging at first because the friends I once had, it became a challenge to still swing with them the same way.
Sure.
They began to say, you changing, or, something different about you. I no longer wanted to hang with them. I was always spending my time and energy into my music.
Right.
That became like my first priority. And in school, I was just being a light. I started being a light more.
And where did you go to school?
I went to Simon Gratz High.
Simon Gratz, yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
I went to Simon Gratz High. I started being a light, I say around 11th and 12th grade.
Okay.
I started really walking into my call, my destiny and what, my calling that God had placed over my life. And I started, being a light to them and share my music with them. And I even wrote a book in high school. My first book was published. It's called X Me Why I Write.
Right.
It did really well. Sold. It was in CLC Christian Bookstore.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I wrote that book, and I think it gave my friends and my teachers a whole different outlook on me as a person, because I even took the picture in my classroom, like in the classroom.
Right.
And my teacher, they all supported me, and my friends supported me, and they started respecting me more as a Christian. And I didn't want to curse no more, because I would curse you out in a second, like in a minute, in a heartbeat.
Lord took all that away from you.
Thank you, Jesus.
The devil wanted you to do something bad, and the Lord took all of that out of you.
Thank you, Jesus.
He will clean
you
up.
Yes, He will. Yes, He will. I no longer wanted to cuss anymore, and I'm like, well, something's just different. Everything just started to change, and it's funny because my 12th grade year is my most challenging year. Nobody would have never known this, but my 12th grade year, because even my family started changing on me, and they didn't want any parts of me. As I was promoting my testimony and sharing my life story, it was like, I guess they didn't want that to be shared with everyone. They didn't want that to come out, but that's what God had wanted me to do. And it got to the point where my family was just against me, like completely against me, where I had nobody but my pastor and my co-pastor in my corner. Like, we're gonna get through this, and it came around the time of May, prom time, 12th grade. And I was ready to go on prom, and because of me sharing my testimony on some radio, I think I had called 103.9.
Okay.
And I shared it, and my family had twisted it all up.
Oh, wow.
And my grandmother was like, get out my house.
Right.
Get out. I had nowhere to go. I was getting ready for prom. This was the wrong time to get out. And I called my co-pastor, and she said, just meet me. I got you. Come stay with us. I just got out with the clothes in my bag.
Wow.
Nothing. It was like I have to totally trust God and just leave. Because it was, the argument was just rising. The heat was just rising. It wasn't a good situation.
Certainly.
And I knew it was nothing but the enemy, because I was doing what God had called me to do. And anytime you do something that God's calling you to do, the attack is so heavy. And the anointing is so heavy on my life that the attack just became greater and greater. And me being an artist, I was just sharing. The way God gave it to me is just share your testimony, share what you've been through. You know, I'm not just sharing. I'm sharing about Christ, but I'm also sharing what God did for me.
Certainly.
And that was my main focus of my music.
Mm-hmm.
So it was constantly always there in my music as a whole. And I think that they didn't like that, but I know what God had called me to do. So I left with nothing, and you know, from there I just never looked back.
Right. So did you ever reconnect with
Yes.
grandma?
Yes. Matter of fact, my grandmother just passed.
Oh wow! Sorry to hear that.
Last year she just passed.
Okay.
And before that, I was at the hospital with her. We reconnected on several occasions, and I was able, you know, to forgive, and she was able to forgive.
Certainly.
And we moved on. Other family members here and there, shaky, but you know, you know, I forgive them.
Absolutely.
I forgive them, and I pray if I offended them, they forgive me. But I forgive them. And my grandmother passed, and I was there to see her, you know, at her funeral, and you know, I didn't feel any animosity.
Wonderful.
I actually did some Christian spoken word during her funeral. Yes, we do.
Great.
And we did reconnect. Good. Not on the same level, but we did reconnect. And I do appreciate everything that she did do for me.
Absolutely.
You know, taking me in.
Absolutely.
And raising me, because she played a huge part of my life as well.
Right. So after, you know, all of these things has happened, you graduated from high school, you decided to go to college.
Yes.
And you are an educator.
Yes.
We salute her. She is a school teacher.
Yes.
And I know that it's not easy in these days and times, especially for those of you out there that are educators. I did teach school too for a while.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I taught high school.
High school.
She didn't know that. See.
Awesome.
But so let's continue on this path. So you started growing in your Christian rap started developing. Yes. You got connected to your church. Mm-hmm. And what church is this?
Chosen Vessels Restoration
You've
Center.
been with them for a while?
Since I was 14 years old.
Wow.
So that's...
And you're still a faithful member?
Still a faithful member.
Pastor, she must be paying her tithes.
Shout out to Pastor Walker. Yes,
that's
pay my
awesome.
Tithes faithfully.
So I know that's right. That's what the Lord expects you to do.
Yes.
So your ministry started growing and developing.
Yes.
And when were you inspired to do your first recording of your song?
Oh, okay. My first recording, I was about 17, and before my birthday, mm-hmm. I had a book of poetry. Well, I must have had about 8 copy books full of just music, raps. Wow. That's how much I would write 24/7. And I was my brothers Idris and James, they played instruments for me, so they was like, we all like, let's go in the studio and make it happen. Mm-hmm. And it's a studio that next door to our church. We went there and we had everything laid out, and we just made it happen. And that was my first mixtape. And that was I really, 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 you know, love listening to it even today. It has made a big impact in a lot of my friends' lives, and
that's the song
in the community
that you're pushing now.
I See Myself actually came after that.
Okay.
This was a mixtape when I first started getting heavy into Christian rap.
So the mixtape, and then the Lord birthed something new out of you, which is I See Myself. And
that right there changed my whole aspect of, you know, Christian rap. When I did I See Myself, so many people enjoyed it. I didn't know it was going to be that powerful. You know, I was just writing, I see myself, because I was looking back at everything that I've been through, but I wanted to connect it with where do I see myself being. And I just started writing it. I see myself. I don't even know, like, how it came to me. Of course, God gave it to me, but it just happened so quick. And I was like, I just started writing it. And I went in the studio and I did it by myself to a track. And then after like a couple months, I started doing it at different churches. And then I said, wow, I have to put this on iTunes. So God gave me favor with that. And I put it on iTunes, and God just moved from there.
I see myself, just like you see me and you see her. Tell them how they can get that now on iTunes. Go ahead.
Awesome. You can follow me on iTunes at ShondaSade. You can download that song, I See Myself. You can also find it on Google Play, Spotify, under ShondaSade.
Right. There is a great audience for Christian rap, and that ties into us talking about this live recording, which is coming up in the heat of the summer. Saturday, July 9th at 8 p.m. Doors are open at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be where?
Yesha Ministries.
Very, very popular ministry. And this recording, Rock Out for Jesus.
Yes, Rock Out for Jesus.
ShondaSade presents the Rock Out for Jesus live recording. Do you guys see that card? Got a good shot at that? Listen, tickets are available. How much are they?
$10.
You can get your tickets now, and how can they do that?
You can contact me on Facebook, inbox me for your tickets. You can also go to www.eventbrite.com. If you have any trouble, just contact me on Facebook, Rashonda Radcliffe, or inbox me on Facebook, either or, and you can get your tickets.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be right there, and I want you guys to join us. For those of you that like clean Christian rap, it's going to be happening here. Tell us more about who else is going to be there.
We're going to have Edward Buster Fields. He's a great artist, singer. We're going to have my baby sister, Bria Walker. She's an awesome singer.
Absolutely. See that? Right there.
We're going to have a lot of people, and basically what I'm going to be doing is share some new music, some old music, and everything's going to go on one recording.
Right.
So it's going to be a live recording compact with all of my music, all of my songs from when I first started, to what I have written lately. So it's going to be an awesome time, and we have some of the best musicians. My brother, of course, Idris, and we have Alex. We have my dad. He plays organ. Some awesome background singers. We're just going to have a great time. I'll have shirts available, Rock Out for Jesus shirts. You can get them there. You can inbox me again for those shirts as well. And I'm looking for God to move.
Right. So come out and support young people that are on fire for the Lord. Come out and support this young lady for her CD recording. I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. There is certainly, you're going to hear her music right here for her radio interview that's going to be coming up in April. Yes. She's going to be right back here at Studio 236 to talk about her music and her life in a different aspect. And we're going to play her song so you guys can be able to hear it. What else do you want to say in conclusion about your life, and just and also I want you to share some words to some young lady that could be going through some similar situations, being raised into a family, being around violence every single day in their household. So what do you want to say in conclusion, and then share that?
I want to say that no matter what you go through in life, no matter what you have to face, what the odds are, and no matter your life situation, never look at your present situation. I want to also say I thank God that He didn't allow me to become a product of my environment.
Yes.
Because if I would have become a product of my environment, I would not be where I am today. And I thank God because I know everything that happened in my life was for my making and for my destiny. Because, when it seems like everyone is up against you, everything just is coming up against you, God is always, doing that to make you better. He's always doing that to, show you that He's in control and that put your trust in no one but Him. And I just thank God because He will place awesome people in your life to push you to that next place and push you to where you are going. So I just want to thank my pastor and my co-pastor for constantly pushing me and never giving up on me, and just taking the initiative to see greatness in me and to, help push that greatness out of me and just share the gospel. And I also want to say, God is awesome. God is awesome. And He can do great things in your life. I'm a living testimony of what He can do, no matter how you feel or where you're at in your life. God can do awesome and great things. So I want to encourage that young lady, don't become a product of your environment. Don't settle. Don't look at what you're seeing. My pastor always says, see what you don't see. Don't worry about where you're at this present moment. Develop a prayer life and a relationship with God so that He can do great and miraculous things in your life. Don't settle. Don't be of the world. We're in this world. We're not of the world. Be true to who you are and who God has called you to be. And I believe that God will move in your life, change your life. And like I said again, I'm a witness. He can do it. So don't try to fit in. Don't seek to fit in. Seek to be different. Seek to stand out, because when you stand out, you're impacting a generation that looks to you for guidance. Be that leader, that great leader, to be that one that stands up and, for the gap and, intervene for this younger generation. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do every day.
And you're doing it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice, the ministry of ShondaSade. I like that.
Thank you.
ShondaSade and Simone Malone. Live here at our Studio 236. We thank you so much for sharing your testimony of faith and deliverance. Go ahead real quickly. Give your social media information because I know you loved.
Yes.
And we want folks to follow you. We want you to get your tickets now.
Get those tickets now.
That's right. Early. Go ahead. Give your social media information.
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook, Rashonda Ratcliffe. You can follow my music page on Facebook, ShondaSade. You can follow me on YouTube, Rashonda Ratcliffe or ShondaSade. Follow me on Instagram at ShondaSade_music. Again, that's ShondaSade_music. Again, YouTube, Rashonda Ratcliffe.
And you can get a taste of the song. What's the title?
I See Myself.
Yeah, you want to see yourself? Download it now on iTunes and go ahead and tell them again where they can get it.
Yes, download it on iTunes. I See Myself by ShondaSade. It's only 99 cents. So go ahead and be a blessing and download that song and bless your life.
We thank you so much for joining us and your guest that's here as well. She, ladies have to come with some support, right? We thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell everybody about your experience being here.
My experience here has been great. Simone Malone, he's excellent. He moves and works in excellence. He's definitely called by God to do what he's doing. His ministry is God ordained. And, connect with him. You won't be disappointed.
Absolutely.
He's been a great host. And,
thank you.
He's been just welcoming to me.
Absolutely. And you don't want to miss the interview coming up on April the 10th. That's on a Sunday. She's going to be here live in the studio. I'm going to have her on that day do some rap.
Awesome.
You're going to do it live.
Live.
Right here on Studio 236. Have a great weekend, everybody. Happy Resurrection. We'll talk to you soon. Peace and blessings be upon you. Bye-bye.